Hi guys, I want to talk to you about something that's really important today. How to ground. What is grounding? Why is it important? Why do we need to do it? And how to do it. So, first of all, what is grounding? Grounding is taking your excess energy and giving it over to something bigger than yourself that can take it. For example, the earth. The earth can take all of your excess energy. A really good way to think about this is on electrical appliances. They have the two prongs for the power, and the third prong is the grounding. That's the grounding cable. And essentially what that grounding cable does is exactly what I just described. It takes the excess energy, if there is any excess energy, and takes it and puts it back into the earth so that you don't fry your applications and stuff, right? So why do we need to ground? We need to ground as humans because we are energetic beings, first and foremost. We are energetic beings, and we are being influenced by energy in so many different ways, and we can't see it. So oftentimes as humans, we'll be going about our day, and then we might be hit with a big burst of energy, of like anxiety or anger or any really intense emotion, really. It could be sadness, it could be excitement, it could be anything. But essentially you feel off kilter, or like your heart can't slow down, or any really intense sensations that you get, really, you can ground. So those are some of the reasons why you might need to ground. I guess what you'd be feeling when you need to ground. Why you need to ground. The real reason why is because if you don't, you can't control that energy. That energy comes out anyway. Especially if you have a habit of pushing down and suppressing any of your emotions. For example, I have a habit of suppressing my anger. So when I become unbalanced and I need to ground, but I haven't been grounding and I haven't been meditating, that anger will come out sideways in like passive aggressive ways, or ridiculous power struggles with people that, like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, but those things really bother you when you're not grounded. So it's a couple short little sentences of how and why and what is it. So how do you do it? This video is completely unplanned. Like, I've been thinking about doing it for a while, but I was sitting here in this fabulous field with this beautiful view of the mountains, and I needed to ground, so I came out here and I put my back to a tree. I put my butt on the ground. I will take my feet out of my boots in a minute. But essentially, those are two very, very good ways to ground. Is A, hug a tree. B, put your feet on the ground. Bare feet is best, but if you can't take your shoes off or whatever, that's okay. That's okay. You'll still get the same. You'll still get a good effect from it. And the next big thing is to breathe. In fact, the fastest way to hack your nervous system and calm your body down is through your breath. It has the most immediate effect, and one of the quicker ways. So get outside, get into nature, and breathe. Those are the biggest things. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. So we have, let me just flip the camera. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I think I just took photos. Oh, okay. You can't switch the view. All right, I'll just turn this around then. So here we go. We got this big open field here. I live in a pretty nice neighborhood, and I don't know if you can really see that in the distance, but I've got a really wicked view of the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. It's quite nice. It's one of my favorite spots to sit. Yeah. Okay, so when you go to breathe while you're grounding or meditating or whatever, if you have any history of trauma, which is most of us, you have any history of trauma, do your best not to hold your breath. So sometimes you'll hear meditation techniques about that say like breathe in for a couple seconds, hold it for a couple seconds, and then breathe out. We've actually discovered, thank you science, we've actually discovered that holding your breath activates your panic response. So instead of holding your breath, focus on lengthening your exhale breath and then taking another breath in right away, and then again slow down and lengthen your exhale breath. That's really all you have to do. So I'll demonstrate. You might have noticed that I like calm down instantly. That's how it's done. It is better to breathe in through your nose rather than through your mouth. Again, science has taught us that breathing in through your mouth will help activate the panic response rather than calm it down. So that's how it's done. Hope you guys are doing well. Another couple things that I do to keep myself calm and grounded is I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the news. I don't read the news. And I have been staying off of social media as much as I possibly can for the last several months. It's just basically all of 2020. Pretty much all of 2020. So as soon as I go on social media, I just end up getting angry because I can't do anything about so much of what is happening, and it overloads my nervous system. And I don't know about you guys, but I get mad, and then I either end up like zoning out and not really being present in the body and in the moment, or I want to numb out in other ways, and that's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. And this whole year is about facing our fear and sitting with it, but not overloading ourselves. So you really got to ask yourself, how much of this is healthy for me? And really listen to what your body's telling you. I think that is the main message. Listen to what your body's telling you. So if you need to go on a walk, go on a walk. If you need, bring a mask. Bring a mask. But if you need to go on a walk, go on a walk. If you need to, punch some pillows. If you need to do some really angry scribbling in a coloring book, do some angry scribbling. No one's gonna judge you. I love coloring, by the way. I love coloring. But if I'm not grounded, it's so funny. Coloring is a great meditation exercise. Because if you get up in your head and you're like spinning in your thoughts and you're trying to color, like it doesn't come out very nice. It just, you get outside the lines and it just looks like shit. So, but if you could bring yourself back to your happy place and you're actually focusing on the colors going onto the page, you can really start to work some magic. In fact, I use colors a lot to help me with my mood. I will, I'll start with whatever color I'm feeling. Like, let's say my last example was angry, right? I struggle with my anger, so I'll start with like a black or a dark red, and like just start with that, and then I'll gradually work like either through the rainbow or through like that hue, or I'll pick the next colors based on how I want to feel, or the next step. Like, you can't jump from I'm so angry and pissed off to everything's sunshine and rainbows. That's not realistic. That's called spiritual bypassing. It's not real. So it's more like I'm so fucking pissed off, and then like you start channeling that energy and you start grounding yourself. And then it moves to something more like, well, I'm still pissed off, but I'm also sad and grieving. And the other emotions that are underneath the anger start coming out. And as those emotions start coming out, you can start to transform them too. But it's a process. It doesn't happen like that. It takes practice. It takes repetition. It takes bravery. It takes a fucking lot of bravery. For a lot of people, anger is easier to jump to, especially if they're in a place of like despair and hopelessness and heavy grief and like just emptiness and blackness. Anger is easy to go to and is in fact empowering. So I'm not saying don't be angry, not by any means. But you don't want to sit in that anger forever. You don't want to sit in that emotion forever. It's important to transmute it. That is what alchemy is all about, is what spiritual alchemy is all about. It's about taking those really dark, deep, sad, angry, pain, sorrow, and transforming them in your body using the tools and the skills that you have to work through them. And emotions really are just, I've heard it described probably at least a dozen times as energy in motion. Our feelings, our emotions are, it's energy moving through our bodies. So when we suppress those emotions, anger, fear, grief, when we don't process those emotions, when we don't let them move through our body, they get stuck. They get stuck and they manifest as pain. They manifest as disease. They manifest as addictions, which is really just self-mutilation, self-destruction. It's anger turned inwards. It's what depression is anger turned inwards. So that is why it is so important to ground and breathe and meditate and channel those intense emotions so that you don't feel that pain, so that you don't feel that the effects of those diseases. Or get lost in addiction. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. That is how to ground and why. Peace out.